Global supply chain management encompasses the planning and management of all activities involved in sourcing and procurement, conversion, and all logistics management activities. Importantly, it also includes coordination and collaboration with channel partners, which can be suppliers, intermediaries, third-party service providers, and customers. In essence, supply chain management integrates supply and demand management within and across companies. That's a little boring, so we are going to break it down in a way the world understands. Here's a little story to help us explain. Let's imagine that you've got a brilliant idea, the guy phone. This is a phone for anyone that wants to be a real man. It's waterproof, fireproof, shockproof, toilet-proof, girlfriend-proof. Well, you get it. This thing is going to chop firewood, trim your beard, set your fantasy lineup and win, and probably will shoot lasers too. As an added bonus, it reminds you to call your mom periodically. This is going to be a pretty complex product, and there's a lot that goes into making this available to the men of the world. First, what materials are we going to use for this phone? For example, we are obviously going to use vibranium steel alloy sourced from Northeast Africa for our case. This may or may not have been the same alloy used for Captain America's shield. And without a doubt, we will use dilithium crystals, also used to power the Star Trek Voyager's warp drive for the battery. To get all of this, we will need a supply chain grad that preferably knows how to select the right supplier, develop relationships, and negotiate prices for materials. Now that the design phase is over, we get into the manufacturing process. Now you have the issue of transporting and sorting and storing the raw materials in preparation for assembly. You might need two supply chain grads for this, one to manage the logistics and the other to manage the operations and quality control. I personally would want to be in operations and quality so I can test out the lasers. Ha! Obviously, everybody's going to want the guy phone, and so there will be a lot of demand for it. We need a supply chain grad to design the distribution and storage of all guy phones so we avoid stockouts and disgruntled manly men. We know we all can be divas. Since this is a new product, these grads are going to have to be flexible and keep cool under pressure when things get complicated. Luckily, we know just where to find these people. As we start making dinero, we'll have to continuously improve our processes from procurement to finished goods. We will need supply chain grads with unique perspectives to lead our improvement. These grads will also need to be masters of Excel to notice trends that create opportunities in line with our strategy. Now, we're establishing a global presence and we have to scale the guy phone to reach all parts of the globe. We'll need all of these same people, but now they'll have to be able to adapt to foreign cultures and languages. For example, I speak Spanish. So now that you have an idea of what supply chain management is and how desperately you need supply chain grads, where do you find the cream of the crop, the best of the best, the most bang for your buck, the top of the top? The answer is the BYU Global Supply Chain Program, ranked 6th in the nation by Gartner in the undergraduate supply chain program and 2nd in scope. Why such a high ranking? Because we graduate BYU having applied valuable supply chain principles to case studies and at least one internship. We've got the experience, we understand the why behind supply chain. For example, in purchasing, we understand why it's important to include supply chain people in product design processes. And we understand why it's important to know when to build a strong relationship and when it's not worth it. Logistically speaking, we understand why we forecast. We understand why we have to manage inventory. In quality, we understand why we use design of experiments. It's one thing to have an understanding of the why behind supply chain, and another to have applied it. We've got both through our internships and case studies. Many BYU grads have volunteered 2 years of their lives learning commitment, hard work, goal setting, and to be leaders among their peers. They have lived and served in different countries, adapting to cultures and becoming fluent in a second language. Brigham Young University students have incredible people skills. So why should you recruit a BYU Global Supply Chain student? We're the best candidates around because of our integrity, world-class education from top professors, real-world supply chain experience, our cultural awareness, and our desire to go forth and serve, becoming a force for good.